Hello everyone, it's me Walter Schumann again, and today I would like to share with you what is exactly the material and the music pieces I'm working on. A few days ago a friend of mine asked me what you're working on, any new projects, any new pieces you're doing, and often I've been asked by other people, hey, how do you run your music practice? How do you practice? I mean, what is your routine? And it was very interesting that I kind of thought of myself, what can I say to these people? You know, hey Florian, great to see you. And today I just want to show every one of you what actually I'm playing. What is my routine as a musician? So early in the morning, I wake up around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I have my own time for meditation and prayer. Then after this, I have a coffee. I take a coffee. I mean, I'm a coffee lover, don't get me wrong. So after that, I have a little chores, read a little book, and then if I have to go for my lessons, I go to my lessons. But if I don't, I start my practice routine. I do not practice more than 3 hours a day or 3.5 hours a day. So please, I know that there are out there musicians that are very ambitious, and that's nothing wrong with this, but I follow the instructions and the saying, let's just say the instructions and the advices to all of my teachers in the past who were students to a great generations of musicians, legendary musicians from the 20th centuries and 19th centuries. So, however, I always start with a little practice, like just a few notes. I go over my violin, like something I made up right on the spot just to warm up fingers. I never start with some, and I most of the time start with A and D string, not E and G. So, something like this. I continue until I kind of fulfill like my I kind of feel, you have this feeling that your fingers become relaxed, they're not any longer stiff. So it's no more than 5-10 minutes to get rid of the stiffness. And then I start with scales. Scale is a must. Whatever it is, scale and technical etudes or exercises are a total must. So, I will show you what I do. The first book that I use most of the time is Scales System by Carl Flesch. Scale System by Carl Flesch, and then you possibly, I have read all of the prefaces and all of the requirements, the content in the beginning, and then you start either with whatever scale you have in use. Then you start with this. So let's just say I'm gonna go with the first because I've gone through most of them. You can see the circles. Wherever there is a circle, it's mean that I have worked on this particular spot of, so here, what is it? Here, we're gonna start with the C major. Interesting fact, he starts with C major, he's not never start with G, like most of he start from here. That's how it is. Hello. So this is a must scale, you know. And then you go to the second exercise. And it's on and on and on. So you go this way, you go to the octaves, double stops, as much as you can handle. Do not overdo with scales. What I mean, my point is that if you overdo with scales, you can get tired. And so this is the other book that I use of a scale book, the scale book by, you know, Yaisha Heifetz. So interesting fact, there's some construction work going on in the neighborhood. Hope you don't hear this whole noise. And so here is the way Yaisha Heifetz starts his scales. It starts from G instead, and just I can do a few strokes. And that's the way he plays it. So this is about the scales. Then I possibly will have, let's just say, a few etudes. I really like the etudes by Wolfart. Here, even they are for elemental, they are very good. So those are the 40 ones. 40 etudes, and here this is the 60 etudes by Wolfart. You know, they are different in technical aspects. Something like you can start from here. And so on and so on and so on. So this is like the Wolfart system. Right after this, I have the Bach Sonata. No, I'm sorry. This is later on. I probably will go a little with Kreutzer etudes, and those are more, you know, advanced for a person who wants to develop a better technology. And here they are quite certain. I know you must have been gone through. And Shevchik, you know, this is a school book of a Shevchik, especially for bowing technique. So there is a good one to apply to what you're trying to do with different bowing. And then after Shevchik, I probably will go sometime with Shradik. And Shradik is this big technique of school by Schradek, and there you may find a lot of double stops. So here is the complete book 1 to 3 and complete scale studies. So you might be able to see those stuff. It starts with exercises on one string only, and then develops on different strings, like let's just say one string, like so he divides them, then you have the repetitive seconds, and then and so on and so on. Then you go all the way with repeating, with a repeat, full repeat. Then he starts, and similarly to what I mentioned in the very beginning, warm up your fingers, and then you continue to develop to extend the register of your playing, and then eventually you will gonna come to 1 octave, and then you're gonna come to 2 octaves, right? You see? So these are like moments of what I do and on a daily basis. Then you have double stops. The School of Violin, the book, the second book, after you go through the first, actually the second book is practically the double stops. Let me see, yes. And those are, training your hand to be flexible on and that's how it continues all the way through. So it's very slowly at first. You can try very slow the double stops until you practically go all the way through. Then and go. So this is one of the books that I strongly recommend you to continue. It does a great difference eventually when you start having a very developed and very advanced material, to where you are obligated to have a better technology or technique. This is going to help a lot. So here are the so-called the Larox system. The Larox system is by Nicolas Larox. I strongly recommend you do the Etudes. It is really helpful. I had stoppings, kind of intermissions, breaks from my playing, and I have to tell you, when I needed to recover technique, Larox was the one to help the most. I mean, all of up to moment material that I just mentioned to you is helpful, but to gain back technology, I started with Larox, and Larox actually helped a lot. It gives you a lot of flexibility. this is number 7, and you do understand the great possibility this system can offer is to make your technique very efficient, and that's what is this all about. The efficiency of your technique is priority. So this in terms of the etudes and scales, and here we are. The first and foremost, Bach. You know, Johann Sebastian Bach. You know, before do anything. So let's just say the first hour of your playing is going to be technical etudes, scales. It doesn't need to go through the whole book. You know, it just need only one scale, a few double stops, octaves, and then take 1 or 2 etudes by either Schradek, by Jakob Dont, or work on that, and 1 hour is just enough. Then you do a break, intermission of 10 minutes, and then go with the serious part. Definitely you have to work on Bach. Whatever you do, Bach is a must. It's no questioning, out of question, you know, always Bach has to be the first after, you know, the scales and the technical etudes. And then you start either, I mean, I'm working on Sonata number 1. I'm working also on the partitas. Let me see, Sonata number 1. I work on partita number 2 as well. So the Sonata number 1 start like this in G minor, you know. So that's how it starts, and so this is the first. Then you have the fugue, you know. And continues, and then you go to the other part, you know, Sicilian. And poco expression, then you go to the presto. And continue, but do it slowly. Then I have the partita number 2. I like this partita, particularly about the deepness of the sound, you know. And on and on and on. And so Bach, this is a must. Either part of sonata or partita, it is a total must, no question about that. So after we finish with Bach, there are, in my situation, in my case, I work on quite a lot of materials. And recently, because I am preparing myself for a concert, and I also am preparing to release a CD to make a very significant recording process, I've been invited to a few spots now to perform and as well as to make to release a CD. A few of them, actually 3. So the first of the concertos that I work on is Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. We all know this. The second one that I work on is Max Bruch. You know, so the Mendelssohn Concerto is. And the Max. The whole concertos. Then I study over Violin Concerto by Beethoven. I love concerto. I always make sure that I have one violin concerto by Johann Sebastian Bach. You know, like. That's the one that I work on. The double concerto by Bach I work on. I have a partner, you know. And he's a very good violin player. He is actually a bachelor, graduated from Sacramento University, and works as a music teacher and performer. His name is Jeffrey Portalanza. So, and then I start with the so-called the material based on different genres that are more kind of interesting to the public. Introduction and Rondo Capriccioso by Saint-Saëns. You know. This is the one that I go. The other is Romance Sans Paroles by Wieniawski, right? That's a nice one. I strongly suggest you do this. And it's a beautiful one. I mean, I strongly recommend anyone just for a concert pieces. When you go, often people ask for applauding and it's like a, you know, coming out, so you have something to present. The other one that I work on, but not completely fully finished, is Zigeunerweise by, you know, Sarasate. Ludwig van Beethoven is a main character and main part of my repertoire. So this is the romance, the 2 romances, one in F and the other one. You know, this is. So this is the one. Adoration. Adoration, I often perform this. This is a very loved piece by Felix Borowski, and it starts like this. So this is the one that I work on. The other one is Polonaise. Polonaise by Wieniawski. It's the famous one. That's the one. Then I work on the fourth season by Antonio Vivaldi as well. This is Preludium and Allegro by Fritz Kreisler. This is the first part of this Preludium and Allegro. It's very, very well known around the world. So there are a few more that I work on. This is the Clair de Lune by Debussy. Then I work, I actually made a small video a few days ago. And then I work on the Legende by Wieniawski. Then this is the middle part of the section, and then you go all the way to the end, to where you end. And that's the one that I'm going to perform in a week, November 6th, in a concert. So these two ones. Oh, as well, I'm going to perform the Vocalise by Sergei Rachmaninov, So this is and here I use one of the kind of collections of violin performing most famous musical works and pieces. And so here I'm going to do the let me see what was it was the first one that I'm going to play is Chanson by Frimmel. It's used in a Hollywood movie. it's just beautiful, right? And then you go all the way down. And that's the way it finishes, it ends, it's beautiful. Then Svensson, Romance by, Johann Svensson. That's how it is, you go all the way. It's beautiful. It's a very beautiful piece. Then we have the Consonetta by the second part of the Violin Concerto by Tchaikovsky. That's the one. After this beautiful part, we are going to do the La Serenata by Politzer. And the piano continues, it's beautiful. It's just like... And that's the end of it. Let me see what else. There are just a few more that we go with my very famous piano player. We do, of course, the Romance by the second, from the second part of the Violin Concerto by Wieniawski. It's one of the most famous and beautiful pieces ever written for violin. So this is practically part of it, of what we are doing. And there is this one more that it's we want to perform, and this is the Reverie by Henry Gutem. You know, it's pretty challenging, I have to admit this. This is really challenging, you know. And this is the coda, you know, predicting the very end of this beautiful Reverie. Reverie, it's mean dream. And so this is something that I am practically going almost every day in my possible violin practice and violin teaching, as I'm doing now, you know, to present you of the material that I on a daily basis practice and work on for my performances and for my future projects, either teaching or church performances or recording projects. So I hope you have, guys, a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend ahead of you. And yeah, practice no more than 3.5 hours a day. You know, you need your hands. Bye now, and hope to see you next week with my special edition for Brahms' Ein Deutsches Requiem on the bilingual German-English session on Ein Deutsches Requiem, which is mean German Requiem by Johannes Brahms. My guest will be Florian from Berlin, from Germany, and we are going to have, as usual, our time, an hour of talk on music and how to talk through music. So here we are. This is next upcoming Tuesday. Also, I'm preparing a very wonderful meeting with an American piano player who currently lives and works in France and England. And this is going to be a great opportunity. She becomes pretty famous due to her performances and interpretations of Chopin. However, look forward to seeing you and be there. It's me, Walter Schumann now. You have a wonderful and fun time during this week and weekend. Bye now.